So, hello there. I'm sure many of you have been wondering this, but I'm sure that a lot of you have been wondering, why has he changed his name from Catholic Fox Enjoyer to now Orthodox Fox Enjoyer? Is he converting to Orthodoxy? Well, the answer is simple. Yes, I am converting to Orthodoxy. Now, it was not such an easy decision per se, you know, but that is exactly what it is, you know? I will be reading from a piece of paper of exactly the reasons why I am converting to Orthodoxy. Now, you cannot see the paper, but I'm holding it in my hands right here in real life. So, this all started around the time of Lent in 2025, which was around the 5th of March this year. I met 3 Orthodox Christians, and oftentimes we talked about faith. During this time, they pointed out many of the things about the Catholic Church I did not know, and they had research to back it up. And I will dive into the things that were currently bothering me with the Catholic Church at the time. The drumming during Mass. During Mass I'm not going to say the location here, especially, let's see, it often be a drummer. You have a drummer, which was kind of annoying, especially when people and you were trying to pray. For an example, they got a cymbal and hit it in the middle of a prayer session right after communion. That scared everyone. It's still rude to interrupt people. I just like the basic pipe organ and choir. The second problem I've had with the Catholic Church that kind of was driving me insane. The clapping during the Alleluia. This only happened once and was received with negativity. The priest and the deacon started to swing back and forth and started clapping to the Alleluia with the music being played on a piano and a drum. It felt like I was in a Protestant church. It upset me because Mass is not meant to be fun. It's meant to serve God and worship him. And it just seemed to be very disrespectful to Christ. Funny part is that no one, not even the children, were clapping. So, whatever. I will say, I'll get into more reasons of why I'm converting to Orthodoxy, because again, I wrote this paper, and I do not feel like speaking from the top of my mind. Why is my arm glitching like that? I don't know. The communion in the hand, which always has been a bit of a problem for me. This issue I've had for a long time with the Catholic Church. It was never a thing in church history where this was the thing. But to the Catholic historians, it's always been a thing, despite unaltered evidence saying otherwise. We all know how the Catholics are when it comes to altering history. You should ask them that question. The third issue. Hold on, why is my hand tracking off? Come on. Okay, there we go. The third issue, the all-powerful Pope. Man is fallible since the fall of man, and in the Catholic Church are taught from the time of St. Peter that he was the chief of the apostles, which he is the first among equals, that he would make all the decisions for them. The problem with that claim is that history tells you otherwise, so the idea of the Pope being infallible was not a thing until the 1800s. And if the Pope really was infallible, then why do other popes condemn other popes as heretics? No man should have the power to rewrite history or theology to his liking, which is something the Pope can do via ex cathedra, meaning that if he uses, turning the page here, meaning that if he uses that, whatever he says is infallible in his official doctrine, meaning that, for an example, if the Pope said, I say every Catholic must give me $10 as an act of penance to me every single time they see the Pope, and he used ex cathedra, it would be church doctrine, and it would be done, and Catholics would have to. The ones that were refused would be considered heretics, and would have to go to confession and submit to the Pope or face excommunication. Pope's power is pride-based. It's not Christ-based whatsoever. This is proven by how the Pope and the Catholic Church has acted in the past. Here are a few examples of Orthodox saints who have dealt with the Catholic Church. Now, this is just based off of the Catholic Church kind of saying, you gotta submit to the Pope or else kind of scenarios. Which again sounds very pride-based, because quite simple. It's kind of like saying submit to me or else you're nothing, because the Pope is considered the vicar of Christ in the Catholic Church. So, I'm going to give two examples of saint stories. Saint Peter, I don't know how to say that, I'm sorry, I'll spell it out. Aleut, but is a Native American Orthodox Christian who was killed by Catholic ministers for not renouncing Orthodoxy and submitting to the Pope. He famously said, I am Orthodox, I shall not betray my faith. For saying that, they cut off his limbs until he bled to death. A second example would be during the Crusades, which is something that a lot of Catholics really love getting hung up about, especially those younger ones, specifically the ones around my age, which as of the time of this recording is 19 years old. Let's see, where did I leave off? Oh yes. The Crusades went to Mount Athos, and while they're there, they came across Orthodox monks. They refused to use unleavened bread for the Eucharist and refused to renounce their faith and submit to the Pope. So the Crusaders rounded them up into a building, locked the doors, and burned them alive. 26 were killed in that fire. They were all monks. Even now, Catholics flex about the all-powerful Pope and that their church is the biggest. Now, how do I now? Now you might be wondering, well, where are you to say exactly that Catholics sit there and flex about the Pope and the church being the biggest? Oh, well, it's quite simple. Every single time I've talked to a Catholic about Orthodoxy, they sit there and be like, oh, but the Catholic Church is the biggest and we have the Pope. Yeah, you have one apostle. We have the rest of them. Congratulations, you have one. And is still often the biggest flex over Orthodox Christians. There are many other examples of the Catholic Church spreading its influence via blood and also hating other Christians. Again, study your history and you'll see. And again, I'm not saying that the Orthodox Church is entirely innocent either. The Orthodox Church, of course, has done bad things, but really, if you look at it, the Catholic Church has a bit of a pattern when it comes to these things. And also it doesn't help the fact that the Catholic Church aided in the genocide of Serbians during the breakup of Yugoslavia in the 1990s. The other issue, the filioque. So, since day one of becoming Catholic, I never really cared about it. Also, it was not a thing until long after the Council of Nicaea, which made the creed which said, and I'm quoting it here, I believe in the Holy Spirit, the Lord, the giver of life, who proceeds from the Father. Wait, what happened to my mirror? Oh, there we go, sorry. I'm also keeping an eye on myself, making sure that nothing glitches. Anyway, who proceeds from the Father, and together with the Father and the Son is adored and glorified. But the Pope, years after the council, changed it to say, who proceeds from the Father and the Son. The Church was upset about this and said to the Pope that he cannot just change things when he wants. The Catholic Church later admitted to changing the creed after denying it for years. Hilarious. Second issue, and this is pretty hot still in the Catholic Church and debated among Catholics, and it's extremely ironic because of a lot of Catholic converts looked into their faith and actually read the Catechism of the Catholic Church. They realized that they're heretics, believe it or not, especially when it comes to this major issue, because they are denying the Church of Christ, essentially by Catholic standards, by rejecting some of its teachings. So, the Catechism of the Catholic Church says, and I'm quoting it here, the Church's relationship with the Muslims, the plan of salvation, also includes those who acknowledge the Creator, in the first place amongst whom are the Muslims. They profess and hold the faith of Abraham, and together with us they adore, give me a second, I'm turning the page, they adore one merciful God, mankind's judge on the last day. This is the most debated in the Catholic Church, and I hear many Catholics say that Allah is not the same God as Jesus. Because God is three in one, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. That's the Holy Trinity. Muslims do not believe in the Holy Trinity, and several parts of Muslim theology point to a very different God than the God that rose Jesus from the dead. While many Catholics reject this, they become heretics by Catholic standards because they are rejecting the Church and its teachings. And according to the Catholic Church, those who reject the Church reject Jesus Christ. And what makes it worse is that Catholic doctrine changes often and has fallible sources for its teachings. According to several Catholics who I've talked to, the Catechism of the Catholic Church gets its sources from fallible teachings. And the question is, if you're getting your church sources from fallible places, the question is your church really infallible? It's not. I mean, I get many Catholic theologians probably will be in the comments here saying, oh, well, the Catholic Church was come by the bishops, and the bishops here are infallible. Well, there's a little bit of a thing when you unjustly excommunicate a church, and then the right side of the church excommunicates you, you're technically excommunicated, meaning that you should not have a place to be writing doctrine whatsoever. And yes, the Great Schism was an unjust excommunication by the Pope. So, if you're wondering exactly what the Great Schism is, I don't know if you heard about it or not, maybe you heard about it in history. The Great Schism was when the Orthodox Church became Orthodox, essentially, meaning of right way, essentially. And that's also when the Catholic Church, per se, was born. The Roman Catholic Church, specifically. The Western Patriarch of Rome, aka the Pope, decided to excommunicate the East for not submitting to him. And because this was an unjust excommunication, because, again, the Pope does not have the, up until 1054, the Pope did not have the power to change things willy-nilly, and he was not the head of the church. If you actually look into church history and don't look into the Catholic side, because the Catholic Church does like to change history, just like how they claim that the Immaculate Conception was always a thing in the church since day one of the apostles. But if you look into history, it was canonized in the late 1800s. So I doubt very much the apostles believed in it. Also, by the way, if you're looking to start a religious debate in the comments, I'm just going to delete your comments. Because many people have been wondering why I've been wanting to become Orthodox, and I'm telling you now, and if you have a problem with it, too bad. That's the best I can say. I'm literally just a stranger on the internet, and you want to take time out of your day to talk with a stranger on the internet and debate with them over something? Come on. I say this with humility, but get a life. Find a job. And yeah, I did just say the J slur there. Job. Employment. Anyway, let's see. Where did I leave off? And so that begs the question: if the Catholic Church is really infallible and set up by Christ, then why are its teachings considered infallible when its sources are being fallible, and if it's constantly changing its doctrine? The same thing with the Catholic Church before 1962, saying if you do not submit to the Pope, you will burn in hell no matter what. But now they say that all religions are a pathway to God, just like their stance on salvation outside the Church. It changed. Just turning the page here. Give me a second. If you're wondering what that is, since the Great Schism, the Catholic Church has taught us that those who do not submit to the Pope will burn in hell because they are rejecting the victor of Christ, aka rejecting Christ. The Immaculate Conception. This was not a thing until the 1800s. The Blessed Theotokos, aka the Blessed Virgin Mary, lived a sinless life, but was not spared from the effects of man's fall. Also, what I was told by a Catholic priest when kind of questioning these things, especially about Catechism of the Catholic Church 841, I was told to quite literally, and I quote, just trust the theology. That's literally it, just trust the theology. My own experiences in the Orthodox Church. I went to Divine Liturgy for the first time at censored location, because I'm not going to reveal that. My soul had never felt such peace at a church. I loved every bit of it, even knowing I was doubtful if Jesus was present in the Orthodox communion. When I had seen it in my soul, I knew and I cried out internally that this was truly Christ. Since then, I've never gone back to a Catholic church. I've also noticed that the Orthodox Church does not focus on power and influence. It focuses on humility, love, and being in communion with God, aka theosis. If you really want to find God, I suggest that you go to an Orthodox church. It's a hard road, but it's worth it. What I've also noticed is that I've started to become actually more loving of others. I have been wanting to make amends with others I've hurt, and I've been getting closer to God since. I can say with 100% certainty that I've truly found Christ. And I still have my own issues with faith, but hopefully those will go away one day, I hope. The other side question question I have is also, why are so many younger Catholics getting into neo-Nazism? Like, I'm serious. Some of the Catholics I'm starting to encounter online are freaking Nazis. Literally. These are literal Nazis. Like, I kid you not. It's crazy. But you know what? At least at least they're somewhat following their paths. I don't know. Oh, and another thing, if you're Irish, which is stereotypically Catholic, it's okay for you to become Orthodox. Religion should not be a cultural thing, a racial thing, or anything like that. The Orthodox Church is welcome to everyone. And if some people are like, you are disgracing your heritage and your family by becoming Orthodox, well, boo-hoo, that's what the Protestants say. I guarantee this. Oh, I'm still figuring out hand tracking. I guarantee this. But let's say there is a Lutheran family, and one of their children says, hey, Dad, I want to become Catholic. I guarantee one of the family members would say, you are a disgrace to this family, and you're disrespecting our heritage. Boo-hoo. You should definitely look into Orthodoxy then. The fact that you're facing persecution for Orthodoxy kind of already says something. The hard road to travel. Anyway, after reading this, please let me know what you think. If you're interested in looking into Orthodoxy, then I suggest that you follow that curiosity. Orthodoxy is not an easy path, but it's worth it. Another thing I like about Orthodoxy is that if the church wants to change something, all of the bishops have to come together and vote. The result must be 100%, or else it won't be a thing. Unlike in the Catholic Church, where even if there is a council, the Pope can just sign and approve it or not. Another thing is that priests can be married if they marry before becoming ordained. While the Orthodox Church does have its problems, it's expected. Humans are fallible and some people just want to use the church for power and money, which is sad. But that is why I'm converting to Orthodoxy, and Saint Christopher will be my patron saint, which means Christ bearer. So, that's why I'm converting to Orthodoxy. I know it was a bit of a longer video than usual, and most of you are seeing just me goofing off in Team Fortnite, Team Fortress 2. But other than that, thank you for watching. Please feel free to leave a comment if you have any suggestions or if you want to see more VR chat videos like this. Please let me know. Again, do not start a religious debate in my comment section. I will start deleting it. I will, and I mean it. This was made simply as an announcement because I've been getting questions from a lot of people why I'm converting to Orthodoxy. So I figured, why not make a YouTube video about it? Other than that, have a good day, and God bless you. Really, I hope that God bless you. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Oh, did not mean to grab my nose there. I don't know if it's fixed. My mirror's acting up. There we go. Anyway, bye. Thank you for watching. Also, please feel free to subscribe or like. I will be tagging Catholicism and Orthodoxy in this. So, yeah. That's kind of it. Other than that, have a great day, and again, thank you for watching. I hope I can make more VR chat content like this. Bye!